Were you? Did you tell him?
Yeah.
It's the better one.
Oh, you know what we're actually missing? And I think I might have even brought it up.
What?
But we need like mic holders because the sound of us handling the mic is so prevalent. In the
I appreciate the.
I think the problem is when you grab it by the connection.
The 100%.
So if you hold it closer up to the top, like in the solid part, you know the shaft.
The shaft.
You just grip the shaft.
That's also something we discussed with my boyfriends.
Do you know him personally?
I would love to meet Todd Barry, and that's why I'm going to the Comedy Lab on Monday, May 26th.
Oh, it's coming up.
To see Comedy Magic. This is one of Todd Barry's jokes. Todd Barry does this other joke that's very funny. Does this sound like Todd Barry? Todd Barry doesn't know if this sounds like Todd Barry.
You sound like
sound like Todd
Bill
Barry.
Murray in Caddyshack or something.
Oh, that's also nice.
That was very soothing.
Yeah, it's a very nice ASMR voice going on.
And Todd Barry's a lot like that, but
Yeah.
with hilarious guffaws intermingled.
Guffaws?
I'm gonna start doing
Barely
ASMR
knows
comedy. You think that's been done before?
What?
So,
ASMR comedy. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. It's gonna be ASMR comedy.
Probably, right?
yes.
I like the headphones. I do it because I need to check the levels.
Unprofessional.
So welcome Dan Feist to the podcast, dude.
Yeah,
long time coming.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that you cleaned the garbage out of this side of the terrace and put it all over there. For me to come up
I'm
here
not
and-
going to apologize for something that is not my problem.
I mean, it's my problem, and I totally accept that. You're right.
Well, there's no need to apologize. I'm thanking you. This is gratitude.
All right.
Do you not get gratitude in your households?
Not usually.
It's tough. It's tough.
I have a fiance, so no.
So there's you're past the honeymoon phase already before the wedding.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're doing a modern thing where like I asked her to marry me and we're never getting married.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's a little bit for you, a little bit for her, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like,
That
hey,
is
you've got
true.
the promise,
Yeah, exactly.
but we're not doing it.
Which I think is the biggest part, right? Is the asking of it.
To be honest, I never asked my wife. to
Really?
marry- No, I never asked.
You just got married.
Well, I mean, yeah, she woke up and she was like, "Why are we at the courthouse?"
Yeah.
I'm like, too late now.
You sent her like an email or an invitation through the mail, like meet me here at this time.
Right. You know, you make it sound like she's a Russian mail order bride.
I mean, I didn't say that.
You did.
Is she though or no?
Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Spanish.
But yeah. No,
She's Spanish?
She
For
is
real?
Spanish. Yeah.
All right.
No, but I mean, it came up in conversation in the sense that if we want to keep our relationship going, I need papers.
Oh.
And we can get papers. A marriage of convenience that's now lasted 23 years. So,
Wow.
That's very convenient. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I got the pareja de hecho, which is the one like layer below
Yeah.
married.
Yeah, you're in fact a couple.
In fact, a couple, literally translation. And we did that because we didn't want to get married because I wanted it to make like a nice thing for her. And also we weren't sure. We were too young. And then I asked her to marry for like this whole like, now I'm ready. And now we're still not married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you rent a room for like?
Dude, don't say the number. Don't say the literal figure.
Oh, I thought you meant in an
I'll
apartment.
bleep that out.
I thought you meant in an apartment in Madrid. No, it wasn't a monthly thing. It was a one night.
A one night,
Yeah,
4
it-
seasons.
No,
That
you never
jacuzzi
come
out
there.
front.
Dude, yeah, it was nice. It was like a nice gesture to make, and she was really happy. Like it was not like I don't do this type of stuff. I'm not a romantic
Right.
kind of guy.
Right.
But I was like, I'm gonna go all out. I want her to know that I want to marry her for real. And I spent the money, and I don't regret it.
Oh, that was great, dude.
Yeah, that's nice.
What's
Nice.
money for in the end? Is it
Like-
is it for saving, sending to Panama?
Literally everything else.
Is it for hoarding? No, it's for spending.
That was too far. That was too far for me, and I apologize.
You should
I'm gonna
bleep the
it out,
yeah,
though.
bleep it.
No. I have to keep doing it.
Now you need to find it where it is.
I know what rooms can cost at the Four Seasons. I've been on there.
You can look it
there's
up.
no
Yeah.
room, there's no room under like. So you must have spent anywhere up to on a room.
Which it wasn't.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that. It was just.
You have to bleep all the numbers now, Pato. And Dan's gonna say the number randomly throughout conversations throughout the podcast.
Well, you know what? You know when I moved to Spain. Euros.
Euros for ruined the 4 seasons. Dude. But okay.
So welcome back. To
Welcome back.
Episode 10. Let's say.
I don't care.
Finally, a good episode.
Dude, yes.
One without Victor.
You know,
Fuck the guy.
that was a real pick-me-up for me to find out that Victor was going to have to skip out.
Yeah, for sure. No one likes him.
No one likes
It's
him.
the word in the streets. Sweet boy, sweet ass. He has a nice ass, and you guys noticed.
Nice ass. I
Yeah,
feel like-
round, fluffy ass.
Yeah.
Now it seems like you guys are missing him.
No, I miss his body parts.
Oh, right.
He's one of those boyfriends I mentioned. Yeah.
I feel like he is like one of the only ones that make this actually a legit comedy
podcast?
Yeah, because he's like
I don't think so. I think it's mostly on the guests.
Well, yeah. Well, it's about comedy. It's not like we are the comedy. It's about comedy.
We are interviewing comedians, so
We are interviewing Dan Feist.
we're interviewing Dan
We're going
Feist.
to do a English-speaking comedy podcast in Madrid. There is one guy that you should know about, and that is Dan Feist.
That's right. Thank you. I really appreciate that introduction.
Yeah.
That was very nice. I wish I could say the same about you, gentlemen.
Oh no, not at all.
Maybe by the end of the episode.
The first question I have for you is very selfish. What did you think of this podcast? What do you think of it?
What do I think of it?
Yeah, be
on paper,
critical.
It's fucking awesome. Now, I heard about the idea. I was like, that's great.
Yeah, great idea.
And then you guys put out the episodes, and I don't commit anymore. Like, I got married once, and that was my commitment.
Yeah.
And now I don't commit anymore. So even like an hour-long podcast, I'm going,
Oof, too much.
qué pereza, you know? Is that my coffee?
Yeah, that's
you're so right.
Yeah.
Will you still drink it after all this time? Okay.
dude. That's crazy.
After all this time. So no, it's a great idea because it really helps build that community that we're looking for.
Yeah.
We need lots of different kinds of content coming from lots of different sources.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it's an additional piece to the scene. Kinda.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
And it's you can do it whenever you want because it's a podcast.
True.
So you download it for free and you listen to it.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah.
That's really nice of you
it's
to say,
different than going to a show, which is
Oh,
a
yeah,
set
for sure.
time and you have to go there and I don't know.
It's sort of, in my view, is like archiving. I'm archiving information from the comedians here in Madrid.
That's definitely part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice to listen back to it. You know, sometimes I do. Sometimes because I not always like pay attention to every episode. And when I listen back, like to the Sherwin episode, for example, which is the first one, it's crazy. It's crazy to like, oh shit, that's Sherwin a year ago. You know.
That is true. And that is true. It's kind of a snippet in time of what Madrid is like right now.
At that time, yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. And I'm glad you're here because you're definitely a big piece of the scene. You're, well, I don't want to age you, but you're the oldest.
I'm not the oldest. I'm the most experienced.
Okay, let's put it at that.
Yeah. No, but I'm not the oldest.
How long have you been doing comedy here for?
I started doing a couple of open mics in Spanish in 2009.
Oh, wow.
And I was really, really, really bad. Really, really fucking bad. Oh my god. Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, but I just kept going back. You know? Like it made me feel like I was home growing up under my dad's roof again. You know, like,
Everyone looking at you, hating you,
yeah, exactly.
calling you names.
Like, oh, this is a really familiar feeling that I got. Yeah, that's very nice.
They were talking about Trump, but it's still 2009.
Yeah, right. We were still in the birther gate.
Yeah.
Obama's from Kenya.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Good times.
So you started comedy in Madrid or outside of Madrid?
No, here in Madrid. I had already lived here for 8 years.
Oh, wow. You're here for that long? So you moved here in 2000?
2002 was when I moved here permanently.
Okay.
And so I started doing some comedy. Then I had the opportunity to start Freshly Comedy, Freshly Squeezed, Freshly Baked. We did stand-up and improv with a couple of other guys, an Irish guy, a Scottish guy, and then some rotating members throughout. But we had a great run, 9 years. We were the first English language thing. At first we were doing one a month. We ended up doing 8-10 a month at one point. And,
what's the scene back then? Like expats or people, or was it in English though?
It was in English, yeah. Freshly was all in English, and that was the first homegrown comedy show here in Madrid.
But I'm curious because now you have a lot of like expats living here, but I think around the 2000s that wasn't the case. Maybe.
Definitely less.
No, there were fewer for sure, but there were plenty of expats.
Okay. Yeah.
The other problem, in a sense, is that the Spanish people's level of English was still quite low.
Okay.
I mean, after the 2012 recession, 2010 recession, whatever,
Yeah.
it did start getting better and better and better. Plus you have streaming and things. But
Yes. Yeah.
the kids who are 25 now were 13 then. They weren't coming to my shows.
Victor, for example. Yeah.
And so the scene's really grown a lot as far as a potential audience.
Yeah.
The number of people who are interested in it, it's grown a lot.
That's awesome.
Who's still around nowadays that you know that you knew from back then? Or would you say you're the last Mohican stand?
Well, sometimes
Less giddy.
we recycle. We bring back a couple of the members freshly. So Tony McGinty, he has a movie podcast called Cine por los Codos in Spanish.
Yeah.
And
Great podcast, by the way.
it is
I
a great
can vouch
podcast
for that.
if you
Yeah.
speak Spanish and like movies. And he taught me everything I know about performing, about producing, about directing, about hosting, about everything.
Whoa, really?
And sometimes we bring him back and we do some sessions with him, or just Sean. Sean is a cartoonist, political cartoonist, or he sells his shit to Vic magazine, which is the Mad magazine of Britain.
Of Britain.
So he sells.
What's it called?
Vic.
Vic.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, and so
That's
sometimes
dope,
he
dude.
comes up with some ideas and he'll come back out and do some shit with us. They're really great. I respect their knowledge of comedy and their criteria so much. So
Yeah.
it's great.
That's awesome, dude.
And then one of the guys who helps run Mad Improv, Steve Loader, he was also in Freshly for many years.
Oh, dope. Yeah.
And him and I understand producing and performing in very much the same sense. So it's nice to be
How
around.
often do they come back and do stand-up?
2-3 times a year, maybe.
Okay.
So that's not very often. But back in the day, I mean, Danny Boy Rivera did his first English with us.
Really?
Yeah, because we also did. We had one format of our show that we called Freshly Ole Stars. Ole Stars.
Which are
Ole
Spanish.
Stars, right? So all stars in a Spanish accent.
Yeah.
but
Oh,
with the-
okay.
yeah, it didn't catch on back then.
Took me a while.
But
Tough name to
But we had
sell.
we had Danny Boy Rivera on. We had
that's awesome, dude.
Ignatius on. We
Oh,
had
really?
Iggy Rubin on. We
Whoa.
had so many different.
I'm glad I know all these names because otherwise
Nene.
Victor is missed now because he would know.
Yeah. No, but really great comedians, and so all those guys were between 1 and 8 years into their career when I first met them back then. And
Crazy.
we had that opportunity.
Crazy, dude. Because we interviewed, Danny Boy here
Oh, yeah,
at
right.
the beginning of the podcast, and I remembered one of the reasons, like that I decided to have him on. Victor kind of knew him, and he said, "I can make the connect," but I was like, I don't know because I don't know anything about Spanish comedy. And I asked you,
Yeah.
and you're like, he's a great guy,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's one of the best. And I'm
No,
like,
no,
okay,
that's
so I'll just say yes. And it was like insane to sit there with a Danny Boy type because he's been through so much here in Spain. He knows so much about like the culture of stand-up in Spain. So it's crazy, yeah.
No, yeah.
No, they speak so highly of Danny Boy, and I still don't know any of his content.
Yeah, we were so nervous speaking to Danny Boy, Victor and I, and Pato was just chilling with him, smoking a cigarette, talking. They became friends, kind of, and we were like, "Oh my God, what is Pato doing?"
Yeah.
We were nervous.
I went to a barbecue with him. Yeah.
You guys are close buddies.
Yeah, well, as you probably know, then he studied biology. And he loves history.
Yeah.
He's really great. He has kind of an American stand-up style.
Yeah.
So he can be a little more relatable than some other more traditional
Oh, that's
Spanish
true.
styles.
You're right. That's why maybe I gravitated to his comedy so much. It's very like punchy. It's very like New York style comedy.
Yeah.
Because he has family in the United States, I think, as well. So he got that connect from that.
Yeah.
And when you started back then, so in the United States, you didn't do any comedy.
No,
Here you
I've
started.
done a couple of like open mics or like I did my dad's living room once.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great venue.
Yeah, well, he had 65 friends over for the party. And it was like,
I thought it was like a funny name for a club, and I was like, that would be fun, huh? That would be a fun club name. Okay, so, but why did you started taking that stuff seriously here in Spain? Like,
oh no, I was.
What was
I'm
the-
not really like a go-getter.
uh-huh.
I would say like.
I feel that.
I see it.
You feel that?
No, I feel it for like myself. I relate to that.
I thought he was saying I feel that vibe from you.
I moved to Spain, not South Korea.
Yeah.
You know? So like the amount of effort I'm willing to put into the future
It's a
is
Spanish
very
amount.
very Spanish.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, like I walk up to a door. If it's closed, I don't even try the knob. You know? Like,
It's not open, man. I'll come back tomorrow.
But I got my wife pregnant.
Hell yes.
That's what she says. Yep.
Pretty early on, or?
Oh no, in 2009. I'm getting to the answer to your question.
Oh, okay.
Here, man. I went, oh, you mean I'm going to have to start working harder to make money to feed this kid,
Right.
and I'm going to have to start taking it to the park and like working on his dreams and
Fuck.
So I had to do something. I had to live out my last dream before I got it there. And I was
okay.
Like, well, let's try stand up.
Okay, and it wasn't for money. It was more like let me try this thing that I really want to try.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't really know that I wanted to try it. You're right. Like so.
Yeah.
In 2003, I met Juan Solo, who's an established comedian and an author and a playwright and great guy. And I was at a Christmas party, and he's like, "I'm a comedian." And I'm like,
What is that?
"You mean like you write your own jokes?" And he's like, "Yeah, I write my own jokes." And I'm like, "You? You're like a pretty normal guy. What the fuck are you talking about?" You know, for me, there was always like this aura around Bill Hicks or George Carlin or you know the people who are on Fox Channel.
Fox News.
Not News. They had
Funny
the
guys.
Improv. they had comedy at the Improv.
Yeah.
Before The Simpsons on Sunday nights. And
Right.
so I remember jokes from those episodes and stuff. It
Yeah.
just never clicked that I fucking love this.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I always thought comedians just went up on stage and started talking. They didn't have anything written down. Like as a kid growing up.
Oh,
So I
okay.
don't know if that's like what you were thinking of, though. Like, oh, they're just like always funny and stuff.
No. I mean, like, I would stay up late at night and watch HBO, like half scrambled, and be like watching Def Comedy Jam or George Carlin specials, and being like, they created that, and now they're presenting it like fresh.
Yeah.
Like I always knew it was that.
Yeah.
But that's why it seemed so much more impossible.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like an attainable goal.
An achievable
It'd be easier
goal.
to be a professional golfer, you know?
For sure, especially in Spain, because I would imagine that wasn't
what I mean is you can't. Spain's a great place to build a life, not make a living.
Whoa.
You know?
Whoa.
That's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
So you want to get
Amen, brother.
You want to get rich, you don't come here.
No,
Like,
for
you
sure,
look at
no.
the people who are rich, they come here.
Yeah,
so
that's
like retirees from all over Europe. As soon as they have a guaranteed income, they abandon their shithole countries and they come here.
they come here.
The golden visa thing.
Yeah.
All these Brazilians, Venezuelans, Mexicans.
Oh, hell yes.
All the people who have money are like, we're going to Spain, bro.
Yeah, it's great.
Quality
Safe.
of life is amazing. Yeah.
But you can't get rich here.
No, for sure.
It's not very easy.
And did you try that? Was there a time in Dan's life where you were like, I'm gonna really make it? Or
Yeah, I was like
As
15
a
years old
comment.
listening to Tupac.
hell yes.
Money over bitches.
Like, dude, I was.
I don't know.
No, but yeah, I'm kind of being honest in that sense.
Okay.
You know, like you're raised to believe in like the glitter and the glamour and the, you know, everything's going to be awesome. Just go make that money, boo boo, and money's
Yeah.
the thing. And fuck that, dude. I grew out of that at a certain point. Mostly probably because I'm anti-system and the system wants me to buy shit.
No, for sure.
You know,
That's
like, I don't know.
comedy also helps with that because it makes you laugh at yourself, because I also believed in that and I was chasing that rat race. And the funny thing about me is that I did come to Spain thinking I'm gonna be rich because I saw rich people coming here, and in my brain it was like that's where rich people go to make money. And then I got here and started working. I'm like, oh no, I'm in the wrong place, brother.
I mean, there are people who do it, but you really have to do it yourself, and you got to work real hard, and you
Almost
have the right
harder.
contacts in some cases.
That's a lot of it too. Spain is a very like political country, like
Everywhere,
politically
though. I mean,
oriented. Yeah, that's
I don't
probably
know.
true.
I feel like even in the United States, if I wanted to go get a job, I'd be calling people I know who know other people who hire.
Yeah,
I
of
wouldn't
course.
be going on monster.com.
Yeah, LinkedIn. Yeah,
I'd be,
sending
like,
people
calling
messages.
and going, hey, do you know anybody who works in this sector? Yeah, do they need anybody?
Connections. I mean,
yeah.
connections still take you a long way.
A long
right?
fucking way.
Where are you from anyway? New York?
No, wow. Huh.
Whoa.
You do give off a New York vibe, and I don't know.
I was
Really?
sure. I was
Yeah, yeah.
100% sure you were from New York.
I
I'm from
think I told you that,
Wisconsin.
though.
I think, but
I just planted that seed and it grew.
we had so many New York-based questions to her today. We're screwed.
Scrap that.
What do you think of skyscrapers?
Can't ask you that anymore. All right.
Yeah. All right. Where are you
Soho
from?
or NoHo? What's your anyway? No, I'm from Wisconsin. So between Chicago and
Oh, shit.
Canada, in the center.
Wisconsin.
Wait, Teek's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
A cello player friend of mine.
Good friend of the show. I always want to have him on because he's quite the character.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's,
We're like Canadians a bit, but
I get that
but
feeling,
We lock
yeah.
our doors because we've got lots of guns.
I get that feeling, yeah, for sure. Did you move out when you came to Spain, or did you move around the U.S. as well?
No, I went to university in my hometown, but I lived in apartments with my friends and whatnot.
Cool.
And as soon as I graduated, I moved here because getting a job or an MBA, those were kind of off the table.
Right.
Yeah.
You graduated from in Wisconsin. Yeah.
And when did crack started?
No, that was in the 80s because of the CIA.
So I heard.
Wasn't it Reagan or something?
That's the time.
You learned that listening to
He
Tupac.
planted crack. It grew very strong
In urban neighborhoods.
in urban development areas. It was
It's a hard name for a show, dude.
Crack
Why would
comedy?
you?
Oh,
Why
you
would
mean
you?
crack comedy?
I mean, crack comedy.
Crack comedy
And
started
also
2 years ago. Crack comedy.
2 years ago.
Madrid Crack Comedy on Instagram. You mean at Madrid Crack Comedy?
That's
At-
the one. That's
yeah,
the one.
With
that's the
star.
clip. That's the clip. I think.
That's the group. That's the group that I'm co-running at the moment.
Yeah.
It started about 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot more new than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, we thought it was like an established thing, but partly because you bring the experience
Yeah.
and the feeling of this thing has been happening for a while for it to be this tight, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
say that again.
This thing has been. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it again. I have a horrible
Okay.
memory.
No, that's fine.
I don't
that's
even
fine.
remember what I said.
But you were noticing the quality of the show.
Oh yeah.
The quality, how tight.
That's what he
is.
was trying to.
You know, it's I've been to crack as just an enjoyer many times.
Yeah, me too. Every
Just
time
to-
I go.
You're enjoying it.
I do,
You're not
of
running it.
course. Yeah.
Okay. No.
All right. Anyway.
I
So
can't.
you've
I
been as a
couldn't.
fan and-
I've been as a fan, and it's been one of the best comedy nights. You guys bring some great comics there, and I think
Yeah.
it's really fun, and it feels, like I said, airtight.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
No, you're a
it. That
great
works.
host too.
Yeah.
Like, you bring this energy, and I think it really establishes the show.
I agree with you. One of the things that I thought we would touch on today, so I will, is
How good you are at comedy?
I'm good. Just don't say that I'm good. Call me the champion.
They do.
You call me that.
All right.
Start
I
now, right? All right, Mr. Champion. No, but I'd really like to push the idea of the difference between presenting a show, hosting a show, and emceeing a show.
You're right.
And I would like to see the scene as a whole develop in the direction of having more MCs.
Yeah.
And not as many presenters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that for sure. It's fine.
Going back.
I get that for sure,
I
but
mean, yeah, that's like because it's a whole art to MC.
it's an art to MC. It's an art to run a show, to produce a show, and I do see the different hats you guys are wearing. You know, you and Robert's literal hats. No, I'm joking. I loved your hat, by the way.
Yeah.
I hate people.
Yes.
Very
it says I
funny.
hate people.
Oh, is that what it says?
Which is
Such a
pretty
lovely little
accurate.
house, though.
It's a
Yeah.
little cabin with a cypress tree next to it, and then boom. I
Yeah,
hate
which is
people.
great. Yeah, I was scared of you in their first interaction.
Okay, I don't mind giving that off because I'm not a very social guy.
Yeah?
So like if that's the kind of vibe I get, that's all right.
It's confident. I'll say that much.
Okay.
You know, I'm scared of confident people usually.
Yeah.
I thrive off of insecure people.
Where did
Hey,
you?
Pato.
Where did you?
Zapato. What?
Where did you first meet then?
At his shows.
Yeah,
Yeah. I did a show. I don't remember how I got to do the snap crack. I did a snap crack, which is the segment for new comics. They give like little short opportunities for comics. Roberts invited me for sure, but I think Roberts saw me at a Sherwin show at his Monday show that they co-host, and then they invited me to a snap crack, and then you were there, and then I asked you for a cigarette, and then you said no. And it was hilarious. When he said that, I felt like, oh, this guy's from New York. I think that's where he comes from. I think.
Dude, I can't believe I said no. There must have been a reason. Oh, I remember. I didn't like him.
Probably that. No, to be frank, I literally didn't meet you before. We didn't know each other. I just came up to you. We were kind of in the same grade. Like, hey, can I have a cigarette? And it was so dumb in my part. And you just said,
no, it was dumb for me to be so.
No, but it was hilarious because you looked at me and you laughed and you said, no, like, who are you? And it wasn't petty. It was funny.
Okay. Oh yeah, maybe I thought you were one of the
people.
drunks. Who were
Probably.
sitting
I
in
was.
the corner.
I was pretty drunk.
Oh, he's a mooch. He's a total mooch. Once
And
he
I'm a
gets
mooch.
drunk, he doesn't care about asking anyone for cigarettes. It's
And I'm kind of
it's a
rude.
problem. It's a problem.
Yeah, I'm kind of rude when I
Yeah.
get drunk.
He gets really anxious when he wants a cigarette.
Oof. Yeah.
Because he doesn't smoke very often, but once he like gets this click in his head,
It's
he
like
needs
a lot.
cigarette,
Yeah.
He won't let it go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's enough about Gabriel. And his
Yeah. So this podcast sometimes becomes like therapy
We're
sessions
trying
for
to
me.
avoid that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
His therapy sessions,
therapy
not just a therapy session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be yours if you want to. If you want to get down and dirty into psychology. But I feel like you're from a generation that wouldn't want that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, ageism.
Like we're
Fucking A, dude.
you're just firing on all cylinders right now.
So, I told you I was rude. It's not on purpose. I just say what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, that's actually one of the definitions of rude. But anyway, don't worry about it, buddy. Cool.
And I say what I'm thinking. I don't think a lot about it.
Yeah, right. That's good. I know a lot of U.S. presidents who do that.
Yeah, I could become president one day. You never know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What the fuck we were talking about? Oh, therapy for me.
Yeah.
I think therapy is great. I think people should go. I just don't have time.
You don't have time?
No.
Did you ever feel like, oh, I could probably use it? Or no? I'm not trying to.
He said ever. No. Yeah, dude.
No?
Almost daily.
Really?
Almost daily. Yeah. I try and be self-aware.
Yeah. Which in comedy you have to, right?
I mean, it helps. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. And then, like I've got a kid now who's 15.
Yeah.
And he's got an emotional intelligence that's far superior to mine.
No way.
Yeah. And
How come? Because of TikTok?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, there's a chance that because he's learned some shit on TikTok.
I know. My sister is super self-aware as well, and I do believe it's from TikTok because there's so many people talking about themselves that got them thinking about themselves as well. Probably.
Right.
That's a good possibility.
Yeah.
And so he always calls me on my shit, and I'm like,
Do you feel like you're learning from him though?
But it's really nice that you accept it.
yeah, for sure. I'm learning from him.
Well, that's a good way to approach it at the very least. You know, you could be resentful about it.
Yeah. Because my dad, when I call his shit out, he's like, "No, you're wrong."
Yeah, same. Dude,
And I'm right. I know I'm right.
That's pretty receptive. No, he's good.
Your dad's great, dude.
Yeah, he's good. I
He's
don't know.
buff.
He's buff.
He's very sexy.
No.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just.
I'm feeling like I've been cornered here.
He's got a buff dad.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a popular guy.
Is your dad pretty buff?
Yeah, my dad.
70-year-old.
Well, he used to be buffer, but
Really?
yeah. But life, your metabolism and accidents and shit, and your
Age.
physical activity goes down a
You
bit,
know,
but your cheese
people-
consumption stays steady.
Pretty high.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, man.
Wisconsin cheese? Is that a
they're
thing?
famous for
Is that a thing? It's the thing.
All right.
All right, wow. Can we wrap this up, man?
We can wrap it
I'm
up.
not getting the respect.
Can I have a cigarette?
The respect that I deserve. I feel you. Oh, you want a cigarette?
Can I bump a cigarette? What else?
I was going to ask you if you have filters for after. Do you have filters by any chance?
That's
I don't-
hilarious
no.
that you went there.
I quit smoking in July.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay, that's good. Your dad, how was his impression of you starting comedy? Did he care at all? Or he's like, he's ocean away?
I had already abandoned my family by moving to a different continent.
Yeah, exactly.
And forsaking the great American nation of the United States. And so,
They didn't care.
It's interesting. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's cool. A fun project.
Okay.
It wasn't a big deal. I'd already been self-sustaining on a
Since-
foreign continent
For a while. For them to care at all.
A decade, so
Yeah.
it wasn't really a...
And did they come a lot to Spain? Were you connected to them at all?
Not really. Not really. When my son was born, then my mom started coming quite a bit.
Yeah.
My father and his wife come from time to time.
Yeah.
Not very often.
Yeah, that happened to me too. My daughter was born and my mother-in-law moved here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like her, but now she's here,
He's trying to make it a therapy session about himself now. This is how it happens. Yeah. This is how
I can't help it.
No, so your kid actually, so your wife's Spanish, right?
Yeah.
And so does your kid have a perfect American accent when he talks English?
Good
Oh, that's
question.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And perfect Spanish, too.
And obviously perfect Spanish.
And,
Cool.
Also, he went to a private British school for several years.
Nice.
And so he has such a really solid foundation as far as English goes because
All right.
of all the studies that he's done and all that. Yeah, that was one
Smart
of my main
kid.
things, dude, is when I moved here because I wanted to, check shit out and take an adventure and whatever, but I also wanted to offer my potential children, future children, opportunities that I didn't have because I spent so much damn time learning Spanish.
Oh,
So if they just get both of them automatically,
just know the
plus 2,
language.
3 cultures, all right.
Yeah.
They're in like Flynn. We already got a good start.
That's a
going.
very
So
good
for me,
point. Is there any interest in him to move to the U.S. or he's very strong on staying in Spain?
when he was real young, he had a big affinity, I would say, with
Yeah.
the U.S. And now he still likes it, but he seems like he's going to stay in Spain.
In Spain. Because of TV, you think he wanted to go to the U.S., or was it because he was watching shows and?
No, I don't know. One thing is that when you're the American kid in Spain,
Okay.
that's
Foreigner
kind of the
type
marking
Yeah.
thing of your identity. You know,
It was the
who's
same
that
for
boy?
me.
Oh, the American boy.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's the American boy.
Yeah.
Okay, and so like that kind of becomes a thing. It also sets you apart from other kids.
100%.
Okay, this is my marking identity is I'm different from you because of this. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that played into it. When we go to the U.S., it's 3 weeks in the summer, and every day we're doing something like amusement park or riding around the river.
There you go.
yeah.
Vacation
Canoe
U.S.
or,
Yeah.
Barbecuing, whatever. So
Yeah.
we always-
Things.
Buying
it's like-
guns.
yeah, it was a lot like going to Disney World for him. you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So there was that for sure.
Which is fun. But I imagine if he lived there, he would be the Spanish kid. 100%.
I've already been going through all of those ideas.
scenarios.
Especially when he was younger, it was like, if we moved to the U.S., would I still speak to him only in English, or would I start speaking to him in Spanish again?
Ooh.
Probably Spanish would be
to help.
better.
Did you speak to
reinforce-
him in Spanish when he was growing up? No, right?
No. And it's great because when he was like 7 months old, 6, 7 months old, if my wife spoke to me in English in front of him, he would make this kind of funny face, like,
What's going on?
that's not your music,
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
your sound, and vice versa the same. When I was speaking in Spanish, he'd be like,
Yeah.
so
We actually asked for the pediatrician about that because my partner and I, we speak in Portuguese, of course, because we're both Brazilian. But we speak Spanish with our friends and at work,
Yeah.
and English sometimes. And I asked, is it smart for me to try to speak English with my child? And my doctor said, no way, because you need to speak in your mother tongue. Otherwise, if you switch a lot, the child will think you have multiple personalities, and they will start to like kind of develop this thing of like, this is my English speaking dad, this is my Portuguese speaking dad. So it's kind of dangerous because the affinity won't be all there.
So strange. I don't think I believe that, but like
That's what she said. She said,
Yeah.
yeah. She said, check this with a psychologist because it's probably better advice. But from what I heard and what I studied, it's better if you stick to your mother language or original language and create that bond. And that's it.
I can see it being important to stick to your language, but the whole developing multiple personalities, if the baby thinks that's like a step too far.
You think so?
I don't think I think babies can hear people talking multiple languages.
I mean, yes, they will be fine. I just think she was like, yeah, maybe be careful. She wasn't like, don't do it. She was like, just look into it because it's not that straightforward, It might have some impact that you don't know.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of parenting. Like, there's a lot of impacts that I'm doing that I don't know.
Yeah. Any tips for a new father?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially a father that's struggling with this. Like, I have a day job that I kind of do well, but I also love other shit like this, and I spend my time doing this.
Yeah.
And I need to kind of explain it to myself as why am I wasting time doing things that I love when it doesn't make money and stuff. It did become a therapy session.
But you're back. but you're kind of back into that thing where if it's not making money, it's not worth doing.
Yep.
And that's a trash opinion, trash attitude to have about life.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, right.
For real.
There are a lot of things that we do that are only for our own enjoyment, our own self-betterment, our own stress. Nowadays, everybody's all about self-care. You do this for self-care.
Yeah. Which is true. Yeah.
You do this as a creative outlet because if you don't have a creative outlet, you're not a human being. And what the fuck fun is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get grumpy. And I do get grumpy sometimes because if I don't do stand up or something, like I started to, be a little.
Start to want to smoke cigarettes and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, actually, that's more often I'll do that at the club or when I'm hanging out with you guys.
Your social life is done now, though.
Yeah, kind of. How was the party though? Pato hosted a party here.
It wasn't a little party. It was just a get together. Ashlyn and Isaac texted me, and then we just had drinks out here in my terrace.
Nice.
Right where
Some comedians.
It was nice.
What?
Are you making me feel like an outsider here?
he didn't come, and I don't know.
I just wanted to know what was going on there. Yeah, they didn't invite me.
It wasn't a party. It was.
Do you want to come?
It was for him.
Yeah, it was literally.
Anything that doesn't smell like a dirty diaper is a party for him.
Yeah,
True.
The diapers are crazy.
Yeah, I guess your life is just such diaper filled.
Yeah, my life can be.
Yeah, you hear a car with music pass by, and you're like, "That's a party."
Yeah, it is a party. People are having fun.
He hears the knife sharpener ride by on a bicycle. He's like, there's a party outside.
But I honestly like to concentrate my hanging out time at doing podcasts and stand up because it's a lot more fun. Before there was a lot of downtime that I had it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Now it's more concentrated.
This idea that you have to everything has to make money or be somehow like quantifiably productive.
Right.
It kind of reduces you to a machine.
It does.
And why?
Yeah.
God didn't make us to be machines or at all.
Did he?
We don't know. But,
We don't. Do we?
But we have free will.
Yeah.
And even religious people believe that he gave us free will so that
True.
we could do something about not being just a machine to like do these things.
True. You heard the Pope died?
I've heard, yeah.
The Pope died
Yeah.
from the Vatican.
The Vatican's Pope died.
The bishop of St. Peter's Basilica?
Is that it?
Gabriel's. Wait, I forgot.
Hey, I'm here.
He died.
What?
He's gone, yeah.
Yeah,
He's gone. He's back home.
No. He died. Oh, yeah. I just got that. No, he went straight to hell.
Yeah. What do you have any questions? Pressing questions about?
I do actually. What's your opinion on the new Pope? Do you have one?
I can't wait till he gets chosen.
Do you think
if you're
that's
asking me where my money is on betwin.com?
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
Oh fuck!
But
I wish
it's a
I
long
could.
Shot. Let me tell you, it's a long shot.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want to fuck up the odds. 'Cause
I
if you say
really-
it here, then the odds will change.
Yep. We have that kind of pull.
Okay.
There's a lot of influence.
I really wanted the Filipino guy to win.
The one with the Spanish name?
Yeah. Of course.
Who
They
looks
most
like he's Chinese?
okay.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't follow this very closely, but there's like some Luis Enrique who certainly looks like
Yeah.
he was from Xianjiang province.
100%.
I literally don't follow it at all. I didn't know there was like candidates and there's pictures of them.
I'm following very closely. It is like a brawl. It's like a bracket.
Are there trading
bracket,
cards?
yeah,
Or
for
should be trading
basketball.
cards of or
Yeah.
potential cardinal popes?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's really fun actually.
Did you guys see the new movie of
The two popes? No, the other
Pope
one.
movies recently.
No, the
There's
two
been, like,
popes is
4
kind of old.
in the
The new one is the one with Ralph Fiennes. Ralph.
yeah,
who?
exactly that one. I forgot what it's called though. Anyway, did
I
you guys
didn't watch it. No.
There's a really interesting twist at the end. I won't say it's a big spoiler, but it changes the entire movie, and I wanted for one of you guys to have watched it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Are you trying to make me feel like an outsider again?
Again, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. One good tip for the podcast host is to make your guests feel welcome and not ostracized.
Oh, really? We've been doing the exact opposite on purpose.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why we got the Pope question even to start with.
I have another question for you.
Good, because I'd like to move on.
What did you do in the blackout?
What did I do in the blackout?
Yeah. How would you feel first? What was your thought process? And what did you do to protect your child? As an
In
American.
a situation like that, it's every man for his own.
Exactly.
So I put a backpack on his back and pushed him down the stairs.
Fly.
You're old enough. You're a man now.
Said, we cannot heat the water for your showers anymore. You need to leave. Take
You're
two
on your
parachutes."
own.
And boom, and he's gone.
Find a wife. Get married.
And so no, I went out. There's some electrical engineering company near my house.
Uh-huh.
Little small company.
Oh.
But these guys tend to have contacts because they work with so many different
Oh.
companies and whatever.
Yeah.
So I just popped down there and was like, "What's going on?" They're like, "We don't know. We don't know what's going on." Somebody said a transistor in Barajas, but then they said the whole peninsula. Like,
What the?
That's hilarious. Me too.
I thought they had backup generators, so I
fuck that, dude.
It was so weird. It was one of the weirdest. I have a friend here that's an electrical engineer for Brazil. He works in this type of stuff in Brazil, and he said there's no logical explanation that can explain what happened because it's
attack.
not even that, because the cyber attack for a nation is unheard of.
Yeah.
Like there are cyber attacks, like modular cyber attack. You can attack like a part of the electrical grid, but not all of it. It's crazy. It really is like, yeah.
It was wild.
So were you scared? That's the question. Were you scared or were
I
you?
took a 3.5 hour nap.
Oh fuck, dude!
I was like, "What am I gonna do?" I read a book for an hour and then I slept.
I immediately started collecting coins around my house. No, I have a photo to prove it. Collecting coins and trying to find like food. And I told my brother-in-law, he was at my house. I said, "You need to go home, dude. We don't have enough food for everyone."
Oh wow. Flavio, no.
Flavio got, yeah.
Dude, I had 15 euros and 45 cents.
Yeah?
In cash. That's all.
You
I had.
also counted coins.
Yeah, you can't accept cards, right?
Yeah.
And then I waited in line at the Dia. There was a line outside of Dia. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And they were serving people at the door, like
nice.
people. And then I got near the front of the line, and I hear like, oh no, just bread and water.
Oh.
I'm like, I waited here 30 minutes
For
just to
bread
hear
and
this
water.
Bread and water that they're serving. I
Yeah.
was about to get like Doritos,
Oh.
Gatorade, you know.
That's so funny that you wanted. It's war, and you're like, I need Doritos.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it didn't feel scary until like it started to get kind of at night, like dark, and then people were really drunk on the street, and I was like,
Oof.
I should go home at some point.
Yeah, when I got up for my nap, I washed my face and went outside and was like,
Scary.
"He's fucking wasted."
Really?
Yeah, everybody
That's
in my
hilarious.
neighborhood, they're like running from one terrace to another. That bar still has cold beer.
That's hilarious.
And then like run over there.
The bars were full.
But
Really?
there were people who were.
I didn't get that at all in my
really,
neighborhood.
Really drunk, and I had just woken up. I was sober,
Yeah.
so I obviously didn't want to fit in with that group.
Well, yeah, it's dangerous. Also, not dangerous because they would probably not do anything bad.
No. But it was just annoying. So
I was scared.
Walking down the street again. I saw people walking up the street drinking cold beer. So I said, "The Chino's open," and I ran down to the corner store and got a couple of beers.
Nice.
And then I was walking up the street and I heard a guy listening to a radio outside a Chinese restaurant. And
You guys
I
didn't?
stopped.
I was glued to the radio from like 2 p.m.
I
onwards.
don't have a radio, so I listened to some guy's radio over there for 30 minutes with like 20 other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was
It
nice.
brought the neighborhood together.
They calmed us down.
No, it was like,
really did.
It really felt like it was the late 70s. We're
Oh.
standing on the sidewalk in a group circle, kind of listening to the radio,
Nice.
chatting over a beer. So
I was impressed at how well society handled it, like Spanish society.
sure.
I mean, what? Yeah.
Is that a no? Is
What
that
was
a
the worst thing that?
No, for sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not particularly surprised, I guess, because it's kind
Yeah.
of their MO is to be like,
Let's go drink.
man, carpe diem.
Yeah, people just went to parks, lie down.
Yeah.
But also there was like police officers almost immediately on the what's it called, the four-way.
Oh yeah, the
just
Castellana.
traffic.
Yeah.
So they had things under control. For
No,
them.
everything felt like super under control, even though like you didn't know what happened still, but it felt like safe. I was scared.
I don't know. I think it sounds like all three of us were at home when it happened.
Yeah.
So our experience is probably way different than
Very
people
true.
who had to walk 15 kilometers from the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many people just walking down the street. You would see that all day. My friend ran a marathon. He was 20 miles. He ran 20 miles.
No way. From where to where?
He's an auxiliar that works like in Alcobendas or something. like that.
Alcobendas. Up here, down here, meaning. So
What?
you
Alcobendas
walked.
Top of the north.
No, I know
to,
from
the
to
top of the
here.
map down to the
So
south.
he
I
just like
thought
ran a
so.
marathon down or something.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's pretty.
No, there's 35,000 incidents of people. That number probably has gone up now. That's I heard it on the radio actually.
Yeah.
Of people stuck in elevators, people in the metro, people on trains in the middle.
Trains.
Of nowhere.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Trains were tough ones. Yeah, because that's you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
You're just
I
stuck
can't
in a
imagine
train.
How long you'd be stuck in an elevator? Like how long they were stuck in an elevator?
Yeah.
Probably 4 hours. I don't know.
I don't know. But no, there are people who were there for like 26 hours in a train, stuck in a train.
That long?
Yeah, because the trains are like of course it's in lines, right? So they needed to wait for all the other trains to get to their stations, and it was the worst case, right? 26 hours, and theirs was the last one. So
No.
I feel
it's
like
kinda-
I'd rather just walk the last 4 kilometers.
I don't think they allowed it because it's the middle of the nowhere.
You can't walk. You're not allowed to walk anymore.
Maybe that's a good question. I don't know what the logistics
allowed to
were.
walk.
Can a train company just say you can jump out of the train? Am I
I don't
legally?
think it's a good look for a government to keep prisoners on a train. You know, I'm
guessing?
looking at history going, prisoners on a train probably isn't.
Yeah, you're probably right now that you say. I think that's a dumb theory.
Europe.
But
I do know that if you get off, then they're no longer
Responsible
legally for you.
Yeah.
So if you get off and then you get eaten by a wild boar, well, then that's on you. But if you stay on and you get eaten by a wild boar, then your family gets a payout.
Hell
You
yes.
think you could take a wild boar in a fight?
Good question.
I would take him on my side for sure. I would not fight a wild boar.
No, but you had to. Like you're in an arena. And
What if you had to fight a wild boar and you're naked?
If I had to, I would do it because
Okay.
you're giving me no option.
But would you win?
No, of course not. How are you? Have you ever tried to break someone's neck? Try breaking a boar's neck.
Okay, but what about a lobster?
Yeah, I'd go. Yeah, a rock lobster or without the claws.
Rock
I'd go-
lobster.
It has claws.
It has claws.
I think I could still do it.
I think so
would
too.
hope yeah.
It's a big debate on this
We've actually been
podcast.
talking about this.
Yeah. Some people are like, really, like, we can murder that lobster so quick. Or there's some people like me who's like, yeah, take me like a couple of steps. I don't think I'll get it the first try.
I can't believe you would doubt yourself against an old lobster. You just pick it up.
I would win.
like-
I'm doubting how well I would do it.
All right, anyway.
How quick.
I'm kind of grossed out by the fact that they are the cockroaches of the sea.
Yeah.
And we
You know?
eat their bodies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bugs.
Yeah. And you know their bodies is almost all fat. Like we're eating the fat out of the lobster.
Oh, that's
It's
why
not
it's so
muscles.
good.
It's not meat. It's like fat mostly.
Okay.
Are
Yeah.
you sure?
I
mean, the texture
I don't
feels
believe,
like
most
muscle.
things. I don't know what it
There's
feels like,
some
but
muscle there, but it's
crunchy.
mostly like the surrounding of it. It's fluffy and it's like fat-like.
All right.
Also, I heard that from a bodybuilder, so probably this is not proper information.
Because he doesn't know how to read.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jaime. It's my friend.
I knew what it was. Yeah.
It's our friend.
Oh, but the insects of the sea are these crustaceans, and like no one's as grossed out by crustaceans. Actually, they are. I am really grossed out by crustaceans.
I'm scared of them. They look scary.
Have you seen a
Crab?
coconut crab?
No.
They're so gross. They're like enormous claws. Like they're basically just fatter crabs.
Yeah.
Or like the
Beefier.
tarantula.
I prefer not to use the F word.
sorry. Beefier, heavier weight.
They are
sets.
also gay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of not that, but going back more on topic.
That was a great little banter.
Todd
Yeah.
Berry?
You know what's
Todd
funny
Berry.
about
We know Todd
Dan
Berry.
Feist?
You should have Todd Berry on this podcast.
I've heard he's
I tried.
the best comedian in the world.
Todd Berry thinks he's the best comedian in the world,
And that's all that matters.
And you could go and see him to see if it's true.
At the comedy
Anyway.
club.
Yeah, that's coming up May 26th. May 26th. I'm
Yeah.
not getting paid for this promo.
Yeah, why are you doing this?
We can
Because
get you
Todd
something.
Berry.
Yeah.
I can get you another coffee.
Todd Berry.
Oh.
He's coming to Madrid. And
Good old Todd
I'm
Berry.
not sure if you're going to go see him.
I'm not
Sounds
sure.
like somebody's got bad criteria.
You think I should prioritize Todd Berry, or I really like Rory Scovel, who's coming along.
He's quite good too.
He's
quite
one of my
good, too.
favorites. I
No,
like
no,
because he's an improv guy as well.
Uh-huh.
Well, he has improv in his stand-up, but kind of. He's not an improv from the traditional standpoint.
Sure. And you can only get a hall pass for one comedy show every 6 months, or what?
Kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of the case. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not even married, and he's.
Yep. That's why I'm holding back.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Todd Berry.
Todd Berry's definitely not married. No.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to go to Todd Berry as well, which isn't surprising that it's not sold out yet.
I don't
Right?
know if it is or not. I
isn't.
bought early bird ticket as soon as I
Nice.
fucking found out. If he's the comedian's comedian, man. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
if
for
you're-
sure.
If you're a comedian, you got to go to this show.
You've
Yeah.
convinced me. I'm buying a ticket.
He's kind of created this
Yeah.
unique style of like his style, right? Which is now like deadpan. We call it.
Yeah.
He kind of like coined it.
What are the biggest names you've seen live?
Oh well, in the last couple of years, it's been so easy. I met Gaffigan after seeing his show.
No way.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You
yeah,
met
and
him?
I was all starry-eyed, so he was like, fuck this guy. And he went over to somebody else who was talking about Turkish kebabs or some shit.
What?
I was like,
Get 'em. Yeah, just
damn it.
food. Yeah.
That's the Pato effect.
Yeah.
You just pretend to not care or probably don't care,
right.
and then you get the guy.
You're right,
you
exactly.
get the friendship.
That's a really good tip, by the
yeah.
way.
I grew up with cats. Yeah.
And, but
Good
of course,
point.
Jim Jeffries, Louis C.K.,
Yes.
Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, every
just some of them
opportunity
that
you
I've
get.
seen here in Madrid.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
And
It's crazy that
there are
they're
a lot of
coming
good
here. Why
ones.
do you think the shift of the big names coming to Madrid?
Because comedians realize that they can build their hour while touring Europe, and the audiences are going to love the shit out of it.
Okay.
And so so they can be on a European vacation, working 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
getting paid to be on vacation,
And it's an easy show.
building their material for an audience who's starving to see talent.
Wow. It's actually a great market.
It's a no-brainer, dude.
It is.
And so after a month and a half of touring around here, they go back and they hit the ground running, and they don't have to do podunk little towns to build their material.
That's a very good point. Yeah,
they've got a 45-minute set ready to go in Boston. Let's go,
dude. Seeing Louis C.K. was kind of like a religious experience for me.
Yeah,
because I was such a huge fan of his, and I don't go to the U.S. ever. I don't talk about it.
Okay.
No, and I never thought I would see him. That's the point.
Yeah.
And I'm such a huge fan of his. And when I learned he was coming, Batu and I, we went. Batu had a panic attack.
I did.
Did you really?
It's kind of claustrophobic. So if I'm in a theater or a tight space, I can get a panic attack.
All right.
Halfway through the show, I had
Hilarious.
But you were laughing through it.
Okay.
No, I masked it, then it went away and it was fine. Like I basically just missed about 10 minutes of the show, which is a shame, but it is what it is. I had a great time.
It was a great time.
I broke the law and have a bootleg audio of that show.
No way. Wow. It's a great show. It was a great, he read the news, Spanish.
Yeah. About the Spanish king.
Yeah.
But that is such a unique moment, and I have it recorded. I might be the only one.
Whoa.
So how did you record it?
Sneakily, because they were threatening everybody to throw them the fuck out, dude.
Really? Can we put it out? Oh, sorry.
There's now that I admitted that I have
I'm sorry.
You've already did the worst part, by the way.
No. Publishing it is worse.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Exactly. So can we take the heat?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah,
Right.
We'll do that.
No, but what I'm saying, revealing how you recorded it, I guess that won't be that big of a deal now that you've revealed the worst part.
Well, when you already mentioned how old I am,
Yeah.
and when you grew up in the era like I did, we know how to bootleg.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
Put the little tape recorder in your cowboy boot.
Was it a tape recorder?
No, I have a mobile phone now.
All right. I imagine you with a tape
I
recorder.
just remember that one guy.
There's one bit though. There's one bit where I had to take a leak.
Oh.
So you can
You hear your leak? We can hear you pissing?
I did it out. Did out.
Yeah.
Well, you got up in the middle. I'd be too scared to get up in the middle of the show. That's why I have claustrophobia and get panic attacks.
Well, I missed the Jesus working out bit.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because that's a classic.
Yeah, it's in
But
the
it's
special.
all over the place now. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Of course.
I really remember the first jokes where he read the news because I thought it was still like, oh, he's making jokes about here. We made it like he's here. He made it real. When he got into this stand up, he was like, okay, now I'm watching TV, kind of.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I just remember that one guy like losing his mind. There was this one guy that wouldn't stop laughing, even like while he was telling a joke.
Yeah, people keep talking about that guy. I don't remember that guy.
I think it's me. I keep talking about him because for me it was one of the best parts.
I don't remember.
Couldn't control his laughter, and he was having the best time, and it made me feel good for him. Probably, yeah.
That's the panic attack. It was just a bad trip.
Who is this guy?
I remember watching that show. I didn't do comedy back then, and Patu and I, we went to that show, and I'm still working at tech, and we got out of the show. My idea was like, I need to do something with comedy. We should start a nap. About comedy, and Fat was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea." And years later, we started the podcast.
Sound like me.
You actually thought it was a great idea. Yeah, exactly. Well, you're doing this, yeah. And then we started stand up because we saw the scene here, and then it was exciting to see there are comedians around.
Yeah.
And another little thing I remember about when I met you. Well, that was later on, all right. I was almost a year in. And then I was kind of nervous. I was actually having like the proper segment on crack comedy, and I was a little nervous, like pacing back and forth.
Did I cup your balls?
You cupped my balls, and you kissed the tip of my dick.
I don't remember that part.
All right,
I'll deny that.
We'll cut it out.
It's a shaming ritual that everyone has to go.
It's not a shaming. No, it's a comforting thing.
Oh right, okay.
It is.
Hold my balls. That makes me feel nice.
That's your generation not letting me finish the story about praising you.
Yeah.
It was just that you were nice and you said, "What are you nervous about?" And I said, "I don't feel like I should be here. I don't." You're like, "Why not? You're a comedian." I'm like, "I don't feel like a comedian." And you're like, "Do you do comedy?" Yes. And you're a comedian. I was like, oh, that feels nice. Dude, and then I got up and I did kind of okay.
That. Yeah, no, I do that with English students too. I'm like, hey, are you an English speaker? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, no, but I don't speak well. Yeah, but you have to identify. You have to identify as the thing before you can do the thing.
That's
then you put on the
100%.
stupid mask
Yeah.
and hide all of your insecurities, and
Yeah, people that like judge other people. Oh, that's not a real comedian. I don't feel like that's ever a good argument. There's not
I
one
don't
logical.
know about ever. There are a
All
couple
right.
of guys who I know.
Name them. List them.
them.
Yeah, list.
Well,
I'm joking.
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. We've got Nathan Arndt. He's from Elm Street in La Crosse,
Okay.
back in my hometown.
All right.
Fuck that dude.
Fuck that dude. Yeah, that
I mean,
good.
I never really liked him. He
Okay.
thought it was funny to put a rotten egg in the back seat of my car.
Oh, well,
that's kind of
that's kind of
I mean,
funny.
that's kinda
That's kind of a little. Like it's not like an A class, like
This
A
guy doesn't-
plus.
This guy doesn't exist.
That's
I just made this all up. I'm an improviser.
That was a
guys.
classic Nate bit, though.
Yeah. Classic Nate.
Classic Nate bit. No, yeah. So there, I named one. Now we can move on.
All right. You don't do comedy outside of Madrid often, do you?
I don't travel a whole lot. I'm self-employed, and so that means I get paid like 18 months later than my invoice, and that kind of sucks.
Okay.
And it limits my future planning capacity. Right now, I'm in a good position though, so I should really start looking at getting tickets to like Barcelona and stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, but I've done Barcelona and Valencia and Segovia and.
I bet. Yeah. And you.
I bet. Okay. Look at this guy. It's not like I'm saying I did the Comedy Cellar right before the Louis C.K.
My level of English is like it's good enough that when I say something wrong, people think I'm being rude, but I'm just saying words.
It's
trying
just
his
the
best.
alcohol.
He's trying his best.
Give me a fucking cigarette.
Leave me alone, Dan Feist.
Good. All right. Let's continue this interview then.
Yeah. What are your biggest influences growing up?
Wait. Okay. I wait.
That's great.
Never
So I
mind.
feel like it's a question that we ask most comedians.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get the same answers you get from everyone.
Exactly,
George Carlin
yeah.
and Bill Hicks.
Nice.
No, but
We don't get that.
You don't get that very often.
No.
Well, those are
Bill
the real
Hicks.
places. Bill Hicks has a rule like 12 list. It's like 12 comedy rules or something on there. There are 4 of them that are fucking gold, and everybody needs to pick them up and run with them.
I will do that.
Right. I feel like we had a lot of Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is a big one.
Bill Burr is really good. I mean, Bill Burr has the fucking magic formula.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a YouTube video that explains his joke structure really, really well.
Nice.
And it talks about how he slaps you in the face with something where you're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
What? No. And then he starts going, no, but hear me out. Well, I don't understand. And then like he builds it up and takes it off and branches.
does
and
do
then
that.
and then he comes around with the logic that makes his initial push
Break,
slap
yeah.
sound reasonable. You know? And so
Oh, okay.
that's-
That is what he does. Yeah.
and so that was that's a really great video, and Bill Burr is obviously
Shout outs to Billy Burr.
king. And the thing about the podcast, you know what? It's like, what is this? Because my dad raised me in the 70s. He's got this thing, and he's always talking about the rhythm. He's got this. He's always in his shtick. I don't do imitations very well, but he's got this thing where he's like, "And what did you fucking do?"
Yeah. It's like the anger is out there. You can't even control it
Sure, of
almost.
course.
Which is your new set is kind of like that as well. It's
Yeah,
angry.
well,
It's definitely angry.
It's not, but I actually, if I go in thinking that I'm the angry man, then it is so
Angry.
that
It's no
not
longer funny.
And I'm not trying to be angry. I'm just trying to be abrupt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Okay.
You
And
come
so-
in like fast and I like it.
fast and hard.
It's really funny. Yeah. It's funny. It's like kind of like when actors tell you like if you want to cry, think of something sad and try not to cry. You know, it's kind of like you're like you don't want to be angry, but the anger comes out kind of
Right, no,
naturally.
But it's not anger. It's just intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And people, you know how gringos come to Spain and they're all like, "Why are those guys fighting?" And they're like, "No, they're just discussing Quixote." You know, like this is how they are. They're intense, dude. They're fucking intense. What do you want? This is how we do it. And so like I'm kind of in that, but I really do need to stay away from this idea that this is the angry guy.
No.
Because then it changes the tone ever so slightly, and it fucks up a lot of stuff like that.
100%.
So, but one comedian who's kind of similar in this tone, much more than I would say the one that you just mentioned,
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, as ranty, is Eddie Pepitone.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, for sure.
You might recognize him from all of the cameos he's done on Law and Order for the last 45 years.
That's hilarious.
But he's also a comedian, and he has a special on YouTube, Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah.
And it's There's a little lull in the middle, but like all together as a piece, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
He goes high and low. It's bipolar.
You're right. It's not just anger. Otherwise, it would get boring or like you get tired of it.
Sure.
It's everything, but the anger is.
And then I bring it down just a little bit, but I can't stay here.
Yeah.
It's all right. And there's a lot of change in his attitudes, and he goes into stories, and I wave at boats. I wave at boats, not fucking party barges and pleasure craft. I mean big fucking boats.
I think it makes
What are you doing?
Why are you angry at this?
But he's not angry.
No, it's just intense.
It's just intense.
Which makes it funny. If you,
it makes you pay attention. It's like
there's intention behind it. You want to hear where he's going with it for sure. Do you think a lot about format? Or is it something that you kind of get there by doing it?
No, okay. So the first 2-3 years that I was doing comedy, I really sat down and I watched a lot of stand-up and I studied everybody and I was predicting what kind of joke they were going to tell. So like I was always trying to predict a joke to the point where I was generally reaching the punchline before the comedian.
Oh, wow.
So like watching Anthony Jeselnik, who I think is really funny, but I'm going, can't find a girlfriend's killer. Got it. Yeah. Dear friend, of course. You're like getting to the punch just before them. I almost ruined comedy for myself.
That's what happened, right? That happened for me more for music because I make music sometimes and I produce beats, really, is what I do. And rap songs got boring because I started understanding the elements.
Yeah.
And now I don't like enjoy a rap song. I understand it and it's not as fun.
Right. Well, then you unclench your asshole and you go back to enjoying it.
You smoke a doobie.
Let them do their thing. My dad picked up doing like magic tricks when he was in his 50s or something as a way to break the ice on business trips or whatever.
Classy move.
And I was like, oh, I know how you did that. Oh, I saw that. And at one point he goes like, nobody thinks this is actually magic, you fucking asshole.
That's 100% it.
But,
yeah.
I mean, I've said that to myself later because I was being a total dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it. He goes, let people enjoy the illusion of it. Just relax and enjoy it. Everybody knows that there's a trick, that I'm doing something, but just pretend like it's fun.
There's this thing,
and so I go back to that.
I love magic. Yeah, I'm a big fan of magic, and like I hate people that are like, oh, I know how he does that. So like, what's the point? Because like, I mean, first of all, it's impressive. It's difficult to do.
Yeah.
If it's a good trick.
Sure.
And two, just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the fact that he didn't stab his finger when he was doing this blindfolded.
Yeah. It's kind of like when we go watch comedy and you laugh more than you would at home.
Sure.
It's the overall community feeling of it.
Well, I mean, being in a venue is totally different, dude.
It is.
So like I do short form improv, like Whose Line Is It Anyway? With Mad Improv, as I mentioned before. And if you watch those on video, they just don't have the same impact.
Yeah.
You're in the room live, and it's unbelievable. It's laugh out loud funny all the time.
Yeah.
And even when I'm not in the show, I'm not like patting myself on the back, but I go to the shows that I'm not in sometimes and laugh hard
and it's
out loud.
Fun.
So, but you asked about if I worry about format a lot, and format for me is super fascinating.
Yeah.
And like styles of jokes and styles of tones and everything, and like what a joke is.
Yeah.
So like you build up some tension, you make the brain connect some dots.
Yeah.
And then you twist it, you subvert that.
Since the get-go you were into it? Because like I feel like there are people who are more into the mechanics and people like me, I just like doing it. I get bored by the mechanic,
So like you guys mentioned Sherwin before. Sherwin just kind of has like a natural ability.
Yeah, exactly.
To be magnetic on stage.
It's crazy to see.
Confident in just bullshitting.
Yeah.
And
and it works.
That's kinda. Not me. The first 2 years that I was doing stand up, like I would be visibly shaking on stage sometimes, like
crazy.
Diarrhea for like 10 hours before every show.
Like it? Wow. Heard of it?
Was that a bit or like on stage?
No.
Diarrhea.
No, but it's like my body was just freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. So how did you let yourself live like that? I mean, I guess you enjoyed it that much that you're like, okay, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it was just like, this is who I am and this is what I do. Right. And it's the same now with crack comedy is like, why are you doing this if you can't make money out of it? And it's not just the creativity. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's not super hard. I don't know about what.
There are hard parts of it.
Well, I don't. But I know that other people do things.
Harder things.
Easily when it's hard for me. So I'm not like trying to blah blah. But this is who I am. These are the things that I do.
100% right.
I put on shows that I want to go to.
Yeah.
I want to put on a show where there isn't a moment where you go, I wish this part was over. I want to have you there for up to 2 hours going, oh, what's next? Oh, this is great. Oh, keep going. the whole
That's
time. So.
yeah. I think you had something to say there, but
No, I was just for some reason I was still thinking about like how few,
get over the-
how few big. No, I'm going back to like a older conversation, but like how few big names like we got in Europe and like how they big names tour Europe because of that reason. And I just remember I was in LA for just like 1 week and I saw just like so many famous comedians for no reason, like just because they were all performing. It's so available, you
Right.
know?
Yep.
I can kind of make a parallel to the just the young guys that are here from the United States that are coming from California or New York, and they come to Madrid and they perform 1 or 2 nights, and they're amazed about how many open spots there are. So
Yeah.
again, it's the ease of it. Like the new cities that stand-up is just getting like started, kind of feels like. It feels like welcoming to stand-ups. You feel like I started stand-up like, oh, this is the easiest thing ever because there's so many mics. You just apply, you just get mics, and then like you hear stories from New York. Like I've been trying to get a mic for 3 months and I can't,
Or
and
San
so
Francisco too. Either.
Yeah.
yes, and for like any big place, even London. If you go to like London, it's kind of hard to.
What's
Even
it-
Cleveland.
Fuck
Like, who
Cleveland.
wants to go to Cleveland? But you got to go. You got to
Not
go for
me.
3 weeks before you can get a slot at an open mic. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know Cleveland. I don't know if that Cleveland's better or
I
not.
would leave it. I would not.
Let's
I would not go
fuck Cleveland. Yeah.
I forgot who told me, but they couldn't. There was a club in London that was asking him to have a certain amount of Instagram followers before they would book.
I think
of
it's
course.
top secret. Oh, I just named him.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Well,
It's a great club.
I
Grant him
thought
that.
that you meant that the answer was top secret. You could have just kept playing that.
Oh yeah, I could have. Yeah, that's probably a better move.
You know what though? Like somebody that reminds me. Somebody was like, "Hey, why is your comedy website so shit?" And I go, "Because I'm a comedian." Like, if I were a web designer and I have a nice fucking website,
Yeah.
you know, like
you can
I
hire
have
me.
nice comedy shows. Do you know why? Because I'm a comedian. Hey, why don't you have so many followers? Because I'm not a fucking Instagrammer.
Instagram
I'm
mogul.
a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, if
Chavi and Abdullah, which are doing like pretty well with the club.
They don't know it.
They-
They're doing pretty well, like running like a business, and I sometimes I praise them to it. Like you guys are running a great business, but they're not proud of it because what they want to do is comedy. So when I say that, they're like,
yeah, right.
yeah, man, but I don't have enough time to perform now, and like they're upset about that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think there's always this part of like, yeah, you can make money or like be a good businessman, but that's not why you get into comedy. I don't think, especially here.
so anyway,
Do you have a company and stuff for comedy, or are you?
I'm self-employed, so I just
Yeah.
put everything under.
Can
an
I ask
umbrella.
what you do, or we can remove if you don't want to? But what do you do as self-employed?
I'm an expert in English communications. I have to translate that because it's my title. My job title is in Spanish.
Well, but that's pretty cool.
But like I do lots of training.
That's cool.
Spokesperson media training.
Whoa! Wow!
I train.
Media training.
Yeah.
Did you major in English or no?
No, in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, and I became an expert in English communication. So like I'm just false. Everything's a fucking lie. But
No, it's something that I thought about like navigating towards instead of what I actually do now because it sounds fun. It sounds like
it's
whatever.
all right. I mean, if
Okay.
I've never worked more than 30 hours a week since I moved here, ever. And
Amen, brother.
And I live all right.
yeah. Yeah.
But I have clients, dude. I've got high-ranking members of different ministries of the government.
Nice. Right.
And we discuss the meetings that they have to have with the European Union or the head of Microsoft or the head of Disney or.
And then at
You're kinda
night,
like PR.
yeah, you're PR.
Oh no, I hate PR. But it's what I'm good at. So, well, that kind of fits in with my whole
Yeah.
self-hating thing.
Right.
How did you manage like doing that during the day and then at night like telling dick jokes or whatnot?
I don't know. I don't like telling dick jokes.
All right.
Okay, now that
But
we're on
it's just what
topic,
fills my mouth.
actually, you just reminded me. Sorry, you just reminded me though. Speaking of dicks, was it you that wrote?
No.
Dan Feist has a big penis in the comedy lab bathroom.
I did not. No, and it says big dick, by the way.
Oh, big dick. Okay.
And it wasn't you.
No, but I have the photo. It was sent to the group chat.
It was not you.
It was not me. No,
Okay.
but it was clearly a man because no woman would have that hand.
Oh, that hand fight. Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like he wrote it with his bad hand while he was jerking off with it.
Yeah, it's also at a height for a taller man. Too.
Is it?
I think. Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah.
I think we know who it
I had to
is.
squat down. No, I don't. I really don't know who it is. And why would they do it at the lab?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Since we're
Whatever.
talking about Roberts, how did
right.
you meet him?
Roberts, since we're talking about no, but the fact that you brought that up just makes me wish that my comedy promo was as good as my OnlyFans promo. I've gotten a lot of followers from that. Yeah,
Everyone's been
they're all
talking about
men, but who cares? Money is money, you know. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
I can't control what
I
other
got into
guys
this-
get off on.
Yeah. Well,
How
I
did I
can.
meet Roberts?
Yeah.
Very unfortunately, no. At Sherwin's show.
Okay.
At Sherwin's show.
Nice.
I was kind of getting back into the comedy scene, like from 2018 to 2023. I took a break.
Okay.
Part of that was burnout from promo, and part of it was what was the disease?
COVID.
Homophobia.
My memory's been bad since then.
Oh, really?
So
Too many. All right, too many jokes. Sorry.
I'm just trying to fill the space, guys. That's what she said.
I have something to ask you. Something funny, something curious.
I was
about
gone somewhere.
Dan.
But
Oh, were you? Okay. Go ahead then.
He had a.
I
That was.
thought you were reaching out for help. And
no, I
No,
lost my,
no,
I-
no,
listen,
no.
I've lost my train of thought. So let's move on.
Come on.
I don't remember
how
what it
you
was.
met Roberts at Sherwin's
how I
show.
met. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
When
I
you
was,
took a
I was
break.
getting back into
Yeah.
was getting back into comedy, and I was looking at the way shows were being produced, and I was like, "Fuck you guys! You have
I
no
can do
respect
better.
for your
Yeah.
audience members. Like you treat them like this. You start an hour and a half late. You lie to them about the start time on the flyer.
Yeah.
Your shows go to past midnight on school nights. It's like, do you guys have no respect for the show and no respect for your audience, and I was
Yeah.
kind of bored of that. So
We're
I
not
was
talking
looking
about
for-
anyone specific.
Tell him.
I was looking
Yeah.
for somebody to pick it up, and I saw Roberts, and he had a kind of natural charisma.
Yeah, he does.
And,
Great voice.
And he fooled me by speaking business lingo. I was like, ooh, this guy's a go-getter.
Nope.
Well, we've had a really good run, man. We're
Nice.
doing really... We're
You guys look like a good team, but I wouldn't pair you up if I had to, you know?
I totally agree with you on that, because one of the things... Yeah?
I can see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things we do at Crack Comedy is the Crack House sessions.
Yes.
It's Roberts and I improvising on stage, and we really don't talk about what we're going to talk about before we get on stage.
Yeah.
I might go, oh, there was this thing where he named his AI. I'm going to go talk to him about that shit.
Yeah.
But he
You
doesn't
don't plan
know, and
it.
I don't know, right? And,
Yeah.
But really, and so we run that. He brings a lot of it. He brings a lot of this improv magic.
Nice.
In that he doesn't know that he's doing it,
Right.
But very naturally he plays along and adds on. And
He's great.
branches
Yeah.
off, and
Have you ever like invited him to do it? Because you do improv
To
shows
dinner?
as well.
To your house.
It's a nice night out.
not to my house.
That's
Yeah, to a
too.
motel.
Euro room.
Come on, man. I don't want people to know that I'm doing well outside of the podcast.
to perform with the group or what?
What was
Improv.
What did
Yeah,
I? Oh yeah,
Robert's
if you think he's got naturally good improv, have you asked him to like I don't know, try at the place that you do it?
Sure. No, of course. I've told him several times to get in touch with Steve over at Mad Improv and get into it, because the courses that Steve runs and co-trains or trains, he's so good. He's really, really good, and you can learn a lot of stuff. And I think Roberts would breeze through the green course
Oh, yeah.
because he's already like,
Yeah.
right,
What's
duh.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
of
you
course.
tell a story.
What's the level of commitment a guy has to have? This is a selfish question to sign up to those classes.
I think the courses run like 8 weeks. It's 8 Saturdays, 2 hours a Saturday.
That's not bad.
Something
It's
along
good.
those
Yeah.
lines.
Okay. Yeah.
And he might have some different schedules. I'm not up to date on what he's launching right
All
now.
right.
But it's 100% recommendable. I was already doing improv. I had already done improv for maybe 8 years or 10 years before I met Steve as a trainer.
Whoa.
And I still learned from him.
Crazy.
So and today I can still learn things from him.
That's nice.
Great. He is.
Yeah.
He's an all-around excellent performer. So
Awesome.
Roberts, yes, I want Roberts to get into those courses, but
He doesn't.
He's good enough for the purposes I need him for.
Right.
And
Wow,
since I'm
that's
a
very-
utilitarian- since I'm a utilitarian,
Right. Why go further?
Yeah.
No, not a go-getter.
I'm not interested in
No.
growing other people. I'm interested in using them for what I
Right.
can get out of
for
them.
your own needs.
Yeah, that's a pattern I see in all the comedians.
That's what powerful people do. Am I right, Gabriel?
100%.
Are you asking? Are you saying that
It's
he's
because
powerful?
he brought that. No, he brought that up one time. He's like, oh yeah, powerful people make other people do stuff for them. Or
There's a book called The 48 Laws of Power, and one of the laws is that it's make other people do the work.
Yeah.
What I was going to say earlier about Dan Feist is that you knew an old friend of mine. I don't know. I actually don't know to what extent, but you guys maybe did comedy together, improv. Kelsey Kane.
Oh fuck yeah! You know Kelsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Kelsey is a trip, man. She so we were doing Freshly Comedy. We were looking to get another member, maybe expand into the female gender, try and get some diversity.
Dabble.
Pass
Dabble a little bit.
Still test, whatever. Anyway, so she was like, "Hey, I want to come join. I want to do your shows and whatever." And so we said, "Well, let's meet up in the Retiro." She came. She met 4 strange men in the Retiro. And we went to the area where the gay hookup corner is.
Yeah.
Like,
I know that very well.
In the Retiro Park.
Oh, I didn't know that was a
Don't
thing.
act surprised.
Wait, can you just send me the location?
I'll ping it to you. All right. Anyway, then and she like walked with us into the woods. And she started improvising with us, and she was really funny right from the beginning. And she did really well. And then she moved back to New York City.
Yeah.
She was with Urbano.
He's a guy from Spain?
Yeah, dude. He's quite famous. Well, not super famous.
He went on late night.
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
Which is like back in the day was like way more important than I feel like it is now, but it's still pretty.
Still a big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Kelsey, what's up? Miss
Shouts
ya.
out.
Good luck on it.
Did I meet Kelsey? Because that name's familiar.
I dated her best friend, also called
Kelsey.
I was
Kelsey.
gonna say, wasn't that
I
your
love
ex-girlfriend?
Kelsey, too.
Yeah.
She's fun too. And Ellen.
Ellen, yeah.
No way.
Exactly.
So you know his ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, that's right.
they would come to our shows.
Dope.
At Freshly. Yeah. Those three women are great fun. Really
Nice,
good
dude.
people.
Yeah.
Dude. I met you.
Probably.
I met you back then in the era of Freshly, because I never knew where I recognized you from.
There you go.
Was this 2013, 2014?
Something like that.
Maybe because that's when I got to Spain. So yeah.
What if
I thought
like
you remember that? No, I mentioned it one time, I guess, but pretty quickly after a show of yours or something.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that.
crazy.
So that's why I knew that you knew her.
yeah, there wasn't like a lot of expats back then, right? So you probably guys probably
You just
bumped
keep
into
going
each
with
other.
your same prejudices. All
right.
Show, huh?
Yeah, prejudice against.
No, there's tons, and before there weren't any.
Yeah, I'm hate you guys. I'm an immigrant. I'm not an expat,
Okay, right.
technically speaking.
I'm a citizen of the world.
I'm glad you mentioned this because this reminded me of another question I had to you. You did late night here.
I've been on the late night show.
That's pretty cool, dude.
That is pretty
wow,
fucking
I didn't
cool.
know that.
Can you,
You did it?
tell
No.
that story and how it's with Belafuente, right?
Buena. What are you talking about? Andreu Buenafuente.
There you go.
Yes. That's it. Okay.
Oh, I just butchered the guy's name.
That's all right. That's all right. You do it with English sometimes too, so
It's not a language.
Anyway, it was a late night talk show, the big one.
The
here in
one,
Spain.
yeah.
The one with
What's it
really
called?
great talent. They've stopped doing it now, but it was called Late Motif.
Oh, okay.
Late as in late night instead of LEIT. Late Motif de Andreu Buenafuente. And really good shit. Anyway, they had some sketches. You know how they do sketches, and they needed a Geary, a gringo. And they called me up because I knew a couple of the writers.
Yeah.
And they had me come in. I did a couple of sketches where I was the setup guy for the guy who did the dick jokes.
Yeah.
I wasn't even good enough to do the dick jokes.
You were the
You're
fluffer.
just set up.
I was the joke fluffer.
Yeah.
I was setting it up so he could pound it. And we did that a couple of times, and then I went back for another one where I was standing in front of Abraham Lincoln's statue.
That's the one I saw, yeah.
That came to life.
Yeah.
That guy, David Fernandez, is a fun guy, a great comedian. And then after that, they called me again another season to be the cultural and linguistic liaison for James Rhodes, who's a British pianist who lives here and loves Spain and is like an influencer and everything.
Yeah.
And he was still learning Spanish when he first got in, and they had me sitting on the couch on the stage.
That's awesome.
As part of the interview. Yeah, dude, it's the first time that anybody ever did that in Spain. Like I invented a role in Spanish television.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
And if you go on the YouTube vids, you can find an awful lot of very positive comments comments about me.
Really?
About my intervention. Yeah, dude.
People don't like you?
Positive.
I thought it was sarcastic.
Sarcasm, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, fucking yeah. Dude,
That's awesome,
You
dude.
ever go back there just for like an ego trip and be like, oh yeah, hell yeah.
Is that recorded in Barcelona or Madrid?
At the old Canal Plus in the north of Madrid.
Okay, nice.
No, not to the show. I mean, in the comment
it's over.
section. You go back to the comment section and read those comments. And be
I
like,
go back to the comment section and read. It's actually my wallpaper, not my computer wallpaper. My bedroom wallpaper.
Right.
His house.
It's just like
It's framed.
Yeah, and your wife loves that too.
Yeah.
sometimes I have to look. I don't know what you think I am, but right here it says YouTuber 3871 thinks that I am the best linguistic liaison he's ever seen on television.
Yeah.
So you better respect that.
Yeah, it needs to be in a bedroom.
It's a great what's it called? Debate ender.
Yeah, sure.
You just point at the
Yeah, you're like-
image.
These
Come on.
people agree.
The
With
internet has spoken.
yeah.
Fuck off.
Hey, how are we doing on time, by the way? I don't know.
We were pretty close. Actually, we're probably. Yeah, my fiance is firing up in all
Firing up a
cylinders.
storm. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, because I skipped a baby gender reveal party for this,
Wow.
just so everyone
Oh,
knows.
I'm glad to be of service.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And actually, this is not a joke. The father is the bodybuilder guy that I mentioned before.
Oh, yeah?
And I told him, so I have this podcast, and he's like, dude, I completely understand. You go do your thing, and I don't care at all.
I mean, you know that there's not going to be lobster at the deal, so.
No, not if I'm around.
Well, no, but he's all, I'm a bodybuilder and I'm fat. Well,
I understand.
I tried to close. I tried to go full circle here, and
We did.
I dropped the ball.
No,
We're
we
gonna have
did.
to keep going until we find something. funny.
Are you happy with the podcast? Do you think it was a good time?
This is the best episode yet.
Can you
that
rate?
I've heard it.
Yeah, rate the podcast right now. Rate how it went. How
I
was
would
your
definitely
experience?
give this a 10 out of
All right.
100.
Out of 100.
Sweet.
It's where I'm at. All right.
So, anything to plug? I heard that Crack's coming back on May 8th. I think.
May 8th? Yeah, man. And then
Hell
we
yes.
also have some Fridays lined up after that. So the, what's 9 plus 7? The 16th plus 7 more. The 23rd.
All right.
And the 30th, we'll be at the Chula on Friday night.
I'm already lost.
Yeah. Well, you know, people who are listening back can go on to Instagram and Madrid Crack Comedy.
Madrid Crack Comedy.
And then if not, you can write me
Yes.
via Sky Mail. Just put a plane up there and I'll be watching.
Yeah.
Very cool.
For real, some of the best shows.
Yeah, no
and,
problem, bro.
It was a good time.
It was
I
a good
enjoyed it.
time. It was a
Pato.
fun time. Yeah. Thank you, Dan.
Gabo.
All right.
Dano.
Dano. Toodaloo. Bye
Audience,
bye.
so goodbye.